World Universities, Part 6. Internal strife within the universities themselves, such as student brawling and absentee professors, acted to destabilize these institutions as well. The universities were also reluctant to give up older curricula, and they continued the reliance on the works of Aristotle defied contemporary advancement in the science and the arts. This era was also affected by the rise of nation state. As university increasingly came under state control or formed under the auspices of the state, the faculty governance model began the University of Paris. The faculty governance model, which began by the University of Paris, became more and more prominent. Although the older students controlled universities still existed, they slowly started to move towards this structural organization. Control of the university still tended to be independent, although university leadership was increasingly appointed by the state. Although the structural models provided by the University of Paris, where the student members are controlled by the faculty masters, provided a standard for universities, the application of this model took at least three different forms. There were universities that had a system of faculties whose teaching addressed a very specific curriculum. This model tended to train specialists. There was a collegiate and tutorial model based on the system of University of Oxford, where the teaching and organization was decentralized and knowledge was more of a generalist nature. There were also universities that combined these models using the collegiate model but having a centralized organization. Early modern universities initially continued the curriculum and research of the Middle Ages. Natural philosophy, logic, medicine, theology, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, law, grammar, and rhetoric. Aristotle was prevalent throughout the curriculum, while medicine also depended on Galen and the Arabic scholarship. The importance of humanism for changing this state of affairs cannot be underestimated. Once humanist professor joined the university faculty, they began to transform the study of grammar and rhetoric through the study of huma- humanities. Well, there was the studies of humanities, so it was not just with the natural science, but they started studying humanities as well. The humanist professor focused on the ability of the students to write and speak with distinction and to translate and interpret classical texts and to live honorable lives. Other scholars within the university were affected by the humanist approaches to learning and their linguistic expertise in relation to the ancient text, as well as the ideology that advocated the ultimate importance of those texts. Professors of medicine such as Niccolo Lanacino, Thomas Lenocre, and William Cope were often trained and taught from a humanist perspective as well as translated important ancient medical texts. The critical mindset imparted by humanism was very important for changes in the universities and scholarship. For instance, Andreas Versalius was educated in humanist fashion before producing a translation of Galen, whose ideas he verified through his own dissection with his own dissection. In law, Andreas Alciatis infused the corpus juris with a humanist perspective, while Jacques Cujas' humanist writing were paramount to his reputation as a jurist. Philip Melanchthon cited the works of Erasmus as a highly influential guide for connecting theology back to the original text, which was important for the reform at Protestant universities.